This is RJ City, and you are listening to Let the Hate Flow Through You with Jeremy Shear and El Giordano Diablo.
Let the hate flow!
Available on the Lousy Weather Media Network.
Welcome to Let the Hate Flow Through You, your weekly dose of audible hatred. I'm Jeremy Shear.
El Giordano Diablo.
And this week we are joined by the co-host of the Cleveland America podcast, a man who hosts 4 local shows a week and is still not insane, Bill Squire.
Hey, thank you. I'm a little insane.
Well, I was going to say the Mormon dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's like the witness with me. It's going to be inbred in you.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
That's where our insane comes from.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Cults,
definitely
people.
You never really escape it.
No.
You either embrace it or you like try to move on, but it's always there. It's always a little something.
Try to live peacefully with those people.
Exactly,
You know?
exactly.
The older you get, the more you realize it's not worth the fight, man.
Oh no, I have no ill will towards them anymore. Like I'm more fascinated by it because like I am so far removed from it now. It's been over 20 years.
Right.
So it's interesting to see people that are still in it. And like I was just working in Portland, and this comedian, very funny guy. He's Mormon, but like he's like, yeah, you know, he's like, it boils down to either you believe or you don't. I'm like, but you're like a dentist and you're smart, so why do you believe? And he's just like, I just do. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not gonna like try and convince you otherwise.
No, and that's the thing.
And then he kind of like tells me all this like little stuff like, but I don't like this and I don't like this. I'm like, I don't think you like. I think you just.
It's generational, man.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like and it's the same thing with witnesses. It's like you're so afraid of breaking from the pact and letting your family down because they ingrain guilt into you.
Oh, for sure.
Know?
Yeah. When Catholics and like Jewish people talk about like
their guilt,
which I'm not diminishing it, but I would like you guys to accept that we are on the same level.
100%.
Like,
100%.
especially like witnesses, I would say witnesses might even be another because Mormons aren't as shunny.
Right.
They can be, but for the most part,
what's funny
they're not.
though is the witnesses. Like I don't know if you remember, like 5 years. That's all I would talk about was like bringing them down, blah blah.
Yeah.
And I got threatened. It was like I got threatened by somebody that said, "I'll make sure your little siblings never talk to you again." So I dropped it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's cool. But I will say that 5 years removed from that, I see all the changes they're doing.
Yeah.
They're really reeling a lot of stuff because they have to.
They have to. And the same thing with Mormonism. And like Mormonism are bleeding members too. Like my brother, who was a bishop, just left the church last year. So and he was, he was almost 50 years old, and like him and his wife were like, this isn't right for us anymore.
Enough is enough.
This isn't making us feel good. It's just tiresome, and like it's not. They don't have the values that they said they had. Like it's not this like love one another, peaceful thing. Like it's gotten very hijacked by right-wing Christian nationalists.
Well, you look at and I know that's not what we're here to talk about. I know that, Sheer, but like you look at like the Ruby Frankie thing and all that, and I'm not blaming the Mormon Church for any of that. But like there was cover up.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like what was that lady's name? Lisa or the other lady?
Yeah.
She like the Mormon Church, fucking they were like all about her. Like, go see her, and then look what she fucking did.
Yep.
Not
they were
fun,
learning.
but-
They're learning some lessons about embracing influencers that are narcissists. Because there's like another dude that was trying to do like a whole pedophile sting thing for the Mormon Church, and then guess what? Every accusation is a confession.
Yeah, no shit, right? Well, that kind of brings us to it then.
Yes. So, Bill, why do you hate people who think conspiracy theorists are justified now?
Here's why. The conspiracies that are valid have always like that rich people spend their money to cover up the bad things that they do has never been a conspiracy theory, in my opinion.
Right.
It has just been what we've always known about the super rich. And now we're getting more confirmation of it, but I've never looked at that stuff as a conspiracy.
Right.
And like whatever they like rituals and stuff they do, and like whatever's coming out in the Epstein file, that's like they're eating babies and satanic and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, they're weird people. So like that stuff I've never looked at as a conspiracy, whereas stuff like what's it called, like the flat earthers,
right,
and
right.
the Alex Jones shit that he'd put out there, making the frogs gay. They're making the Sandy Hook was a psyop, that stuff.
Which
all
he's
that
now
stuff,
getting sued into bankruptcy for saying that
which
shit.
is like all that stuff is still out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like them getting one or two wins, you know, and then like and another one that I'll like anything that keeps the military industrial complex churning, like 9/11 or, you know, the new recent stuff. Like, again, not conspiracies. It's the plan. Like that's,
selling and giving drugs to the cartel.
yes, selling and giving drugs to the cartel. You know, destabilizing regions, and like, you know, like employing Osama bin Laden and then having him turn against us.
Yeah.
Because we didn't keep up our end of the bargain. Like, yeah, they create enemies all the time. That's.
Do you know who gave the weapons to Ayatollah Khomeini in the 70s?
Yeah, right.
And then they got mad when he was like, I'm going to take some people hostage.
Right.
That's the one thing that gets me, though, is like throughout this whole thing, I've talked to boomers and stuff, and they're like, Iran still owes us an apology for 50 years ago. And I posted a thing where I was like, I'm fucking tired of these people, because like you want Iran to apologize for something that happened to 25 Americans 50 years ago, yet you want indigenous people to forget about a genocide that they're still trying to do.
Yep.
And fucking slavery.
Right.
Get fucked.
And you want everyone who lost a family member during COVID to be like, it was just the flu. The vaccines weren't even important. Like all like the thing I had, the annoyance I had with that is they never take a loss.
Right.
They never go, you know what? I was wrong here.
Well, and dude, that kind of like one of the original things you wanted to come on and talk about was like whataboutism.
Yeah.
Like you can get them a gotcha moment, and they do. But what about this?
What about this? Yeah, like all the like, and that's been such a prevalent thing with like people being like, yeah, Trump's in the files, and then be like, yeah, but so was Bill Clinton, and everyone's like, yeah, put him in jail too.
Arrest him, kill him. Who cares?
Do whatever you want. Yeah, like I don't care. Like I'm not excited about. I'm not gonna. First of all, I'm pretty old, and I was still not old enough to vote for Bill Clinton ever.
Yeah,
like that.
Right.
So that's not a guy that I ever like had any like affinity for really. And even if I did, I would like even if it was Obama or Biden or Bernie or any, like even like somebody like
They're
enjoy,
all criminals.
like I'd be like, yeah, do it.
Yeah,
I don't
I don't. That's the thing. Like, and that is the divide between the two. Because, like, I was gonna say, I've just seen memes, and because the internet is fucking bots now.
Yeah.
I feel like, and don't get me wrong, I believe a lot of MAGA supporters would post something like this. Yeah. It was like that typical like MAGA skeleton giving the middle finger, and it said, "We support pedos now, libtard. What are you gonna do about it?" And I was like, was that a bot, or was that somebody who actually made that and meant it?
Right, or is it just someone trolling them?
Right.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, so it's hard to tell anymore.
It's a constant cycle.
Well, and that was the thing too. Is like once they like in 2016 they learned how to use social media to get like enough people had gotten onto Facebook, like our parents, the boomers, and stuff like that had gotten on Facebook so that they could use those machines to push a narrative that wasn't. Like, you know, they're able to do it like they did with cable news, where like what they had going on with CNN and MSNBC, and then Roger Ailes comes in and he goes, "Hey, what about a right-wing station?" And they're like, "Well, we're not really trying to be left-wing biased. It's just when you are more informed, you have more of a bias that way." There's studies about that. And he's like, "Yeah, but I want to make money off of the people that aren't intelligent and aren't informed and use scare tactics to keep them buying our catheters.
Yeah, I mean, Rupert Murdoch, isn't that his name? Rupert Murdoch. He's just a bad person. And there was all that backlash about Hugh Jackman singing at his birthday party.
Yeah.
And like a couple weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, and like Kushner was there, and fucking Ivanka was there, and it's just like what I don't know is like what this just goes back to what you were saying like earlier, just about conspiracies in general, like. The rich are with the ultra rich for a reason because they don't understand normal people. And if they did understand normal people at one point, they don't since they got money.
Right.
So, like, I'm just tired of people putting... Because we are all guilty of it.
Yeah.
We have been in the past. I just try not to do it anymore. Putting celebrities on a pedestal.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, they are... It's like... I'm not saying they're all bad people. I'm just saying they probably stepped on somebody's neck to get where they're at. So, like, they're not infallible.
Well, and, like, that's one of the reasons, like, when people are like, oh, why don't you move to New York? I'm like, I don't like the people there. And you mean, like, New Yorkers? I'm like, no, the comedians. Like, it's like they are, like, if you have your group and stuff, and again, I'm not speaking in absolutes here. There's absolutely great people out there. But a lot of the people that are great people out there are the ones that I'm like, why isn't this guy famous?
Right.
Why isn't Ted Alexandro famous? Like that
because he bought into that crypto bullshit when that came out.
Yeah, well, but he should have been famous. It should have been more of a backlash then, because he wasn't even famous enough for that to be on my radar.
Was that your experience when you moved out there? Was it like meeting all these people and like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
No, it was when I moved out there, it was more, I just was working on the road a lot more. Yeah. And so then I'd also just met the woman that would end up being my wife and now ex-wife. But we're still cool. And just wanting to get better, like, on stage. And I was like, well, the road for me getting better on stage is to do longer sets and get paid for it versus trying to break in at these clubs. And honestly, if I had just been like, you know what, I need to just hunker down and do New York City, I probably would have liked it. But that wasn't people based. That was just like, I liked being around the kids. I liked my ex-wife a lot. Like, I liked the family life that I had that balanced me out and gave me more perspective, so that when I went on the road, I wasn't just doing like I could appeal to a broader audience because I had that experience.
And I like, just because we've known each other well over a decade at this point. It's just like watching your comedy actually evolve the way it did when you really took on like that family dad role was like, I think it was the best thing that could have happened to you, because
I agree.
I might have been you so much.
I think I would have been a very good comic still in New York City, but I think it would have been a very different road for me, because having that experience of being a stepdad and, like, you know, having all those different
embracing it, not from like a shitty stepdad, you know,
right? Like loving those kids and like experiencing all that stuff. Like, it was way more enjoyable to me than being like, I'm part of like the Dan Soder class or whatever, like whoever I would have like.
And I love Soder.
I love him, dude. I love him too. I like all that stuff. Like, I'm not saying anyone's wrong for going to New York or anything like that. I made a different choice, and I'm very happy with it.
What's funny is, I don't know if we mentioned it on the show or if just the three of us were talking about it or something, but maybe it might have just been me and Sheer. But I was just saying, I love that, like, Soder, when all that people were like, oh, it's LA, oh, it's Austin, and fucking Soder was like, fuck you, it is New York.
It's
dude.
always been New York.
Yeah. It will always be
New York. And I will give it that, like, for what you have to deal with those bad people, the shows that you can get on, and the reps that you can get, and the ability to get better, because you're being pushed by it is there. Like, it is still the mecca of stand-up comedy. I'm not ever going to take that away from it. It's like, when I go and visit and I get to perform, I always feel like I should move here. I should do, because I do. And then and then a train doesn't, you know, something weird happens. I'm like, I'm gonna go home. And also, I like my dog, and I hate the rigmarole of the city itself. Like, I can stand it for like a week, but like a month, or like even like living there full time, like I don't know, it's a lot, especially when the weather gets shitty and you have to like walk and get groceries.
Yeah.
And there's trash piled up on the streets.
Yeah,
and don't get me wrong, I love New York.
Yeah.
I do, but I like
it's got some drawbacks.
and but people have always told me, because I've never been to LA, but like everybody who knows me really well is like, you would like LA for about 4 hours and then you would fucking want to leave immediately.
I just you notice when people move to New York and come back, like the improvement, but sometimes when people go to LA and then come back, it's like nothing's really changed.
Yeah. And there are definitely, and I've seen it both ways too, where it's like and LA definitely has a scene for certain types of comics.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
like a guy like Rick Glassman, who's from here,
Yeah.
I think LA was the perfect incubator for him to go and be weird and then develop what he's developed and become who he's become, and kind of build this whole, because he was that in Cleveland. It definitely was too early on, because I mean that was like 2004 when he was doing this weird shit the Cleveland Improv, and Lee Herlings was like, "What are you gonna do about this? This is crazy. These aren't jokes. This isn't funny. Why are you doing this?"
Yeah. I worked with him in the Funny Stuff a few times, and it was always there's some stuff I can't talk about, but yeah, he was a little too weird for the Funny Stop crowd.
Yeah.
But then we would go next door to the the bar that used to be across the street, and he'd have a blast with everybody.
Yeah.
It was just his act. He's not like a weird dude.
Right. Yeah, no, and that's like, but he was so unique in that weirdness on stage, and sat in it, and didn't like abandon it either. Like I was always very had a lot of respect for him for that, because he would just be like, "Hey, I'm going to do this weird stuff, and you guys either going to like it or not, but I'm going to have fun."
Yeah.
I like something I've noticed, like as far as like when somebody goes somewhere, comes back or whatever, like I know it's just because, and New York does it too, but New York does it in a different way, because like New York beats you down, but you like I feel like they make you they want to root for you after they beat you down.
Yeah.
They really want to root for you.
Yeah, they're kind of like jumping you in.
Right.
Like, yeah, we fucked with you, but now
which
you want
is like New York is fucking.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Where I feel like LA, and I'm not going to sit here and name like it's all bigger comedians, but I'm not going to sit here and just do that. But like I've heard shit that like LA comedians say, and like how they treat certain people, and like the shit women go through out there, and it's like it just seems like LA, I feel like, this was my point, chews up and spits out a lot more people in a negative way than say New York would.
Yeah, but they do it while smiling and saying you're great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all backstabby Hollywood bullshit.
Right.
I do not like the fact that it's very difficult to determine who's genuine out there.
Yeah.
And I think that's why
everybody's got an angle.
Well, I've always been somebody that's pretty upfront about how I feel about somebody, and I think that is to my detriment. But
you and me both, brother.
But it's if I go out there, the people I'm excited to see are the people I already know.
Right, right.
I don't.
I'm not looking to make new friends.
No, because I can't tell.
And that's the nice advantage that I have when I go out to New York, is I know so many people from doing the radio show and working at Hilarities for so many years, that like I'll go in and like just bump into people that I haven't seen, and I didn't tell them I was going to be out there, and they didn't know I was going to be out there, and like they'll be like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Bill? What are you doing?" And I'm like, just doing some sets and like getting on show, and then that ingratiates me to the people that don't know me, because they're like, "Oh, like he's sitting with Attell, like he must be something."
Well,
like,
that's like I was gonna say, like, so like the last time I went to New York City, me and Devin just decided to go on a whim one day.
Yeah.
We went and got breakfast at Tommy's. He's like, "You want to go to New York City today?"
Yeah.
It was like a Tuesday. I'm like, "All right, fuck it." So we did, and we went to the Cellar. And I forget the guy who hosts he hosts it now. He was working then. I can't never remember his name. So funny, dude. He was talking about there was that reel going where he was talking about the difference between artistic and autistic, but his New York accent couldn't let him differentiate the two.
Oh, okay, wait.
Can't remember the guy's name.
He hosted the Cellar, or
yeah. I think he hosted a lot now.
Okay.
But he's real funny, dude.
Yeah.
And
Will Sylvans. I'm trying to think. Sherrod Small.
Devin would know his name. I can, but anyway, he's super cool, dude.
Yeah.
And he talked to us and everything. And he goes, oh, you guys are up and comers. That's cool. He was like, well, if you want any advice, he was like, go upstairs. He goes, go up those stairs right now. He was really nice.
Yeah.
And he goes, there's going to be 4 people that you recognize sitting there. Just sit down around them. They're not going to say anything. Once they introduce themselves, you get to talk to them.
Yeah.
And it was fucking Attell, Rich Voss. Like, it was just like, and they all sat there and just like giving us They were just and I just feel like in LA, they'd look at you like, why are you sitting next to me?
Right. And that is one of the cool things. I mean, the Cellar is such a magical place in that, whereas like you have. We're so off topic. But it's just cool. I've been to the Cellar a dozen times, and I have a pretty cool story from pretty much every time I've been there.
That's awesome.
Like, I met Chappelle, I've hung out with Attell, I got to see Marcello do a set there, which was really cool, and then we hung out for a couple hours, which was fun to like hang out and like see where he's been, because Marcello.
Yeah, when I started, he was he
was helping me run shows and stuff. And I did his like little talk show that he did. His college talk show. That's such a
so happy that he's doing as well as he is.
No,
and that was the thing is, we went outside and like Dave had his last cigarette, and he probably smokes a certain type.
Yeah.
And he like looked at it and he goes, I like lit one up. He goes, hey, can I bum one of those from you? Your Dave fucking to tell you. And he dropped in. That was the cool thing. Is he dropped in and did like 40 minutes.
Yep.
And who's going to tell him no?
Right. No. I mean, he's the mayor there. Yeah. He's the mayor. But also, like when I moved there in 2006, I got to go. Like, I was just hanging out with Robert Kelly. Yeah. And John Mayer did a set.
Really?
So I got to be there on one of the nights that John Mayer did a set, and like he was not terrible. Like you would, but he's terrible compared to the other comedians that were on the show. Because they're all the best comics in the world. Sure. But he was still like funny and like interesting and like had some some good pops. But it was funny just watching him like what I saw with John Mayer at that time, because he was so famous, like hanging out with comics, and comics just kind of treating him like, hey man, you could be better at this, but you like, and like kind of just being one of the guys.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he was, because of all the Jessica Simpson and all the like, huge stars that he had gone out with. Like he needed some. He liked that groundedness of comedy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I still think it was really cool when there was that. What was it? Was it? I think it was a John. It was like on MTV too, where it was a John Mayer concert, and there was a big line, and he got into the Kanye bear costume and was like terrorizing the crowd going to see him.
That's really funny.
And I'm like, dude, that guy seems, fuck his music, but he seems like a cool dude.
I don't even say fuck his music.
That's just
like
me.
But he also like he took like Ben Folds on tour opening up for him when his audience was not a Ben Folds audience.
Sure.
And Ben Folds would like give people like whiplash, because he'd be doing these like really sentimental songs and then do his bitches ain't shit cover and they're just like, what the and Ben's like, hey, I don't think they liked it, and he's like, I don't care, I'm having fun, I love watching you do that.
Going back to the conspiracy theory thing real quick, there's just something that crossed my mind. Did you see the meme that said, as 99% of conspiracy theories all get confirmed, flat earthers are still losing their fucking mind?
And again, we are not nearly at 99% of conspiracies confirmed.
No, it was the meme.
Well, and like, did you ever watch the Flat Earther documentary that was on Netflix?
Beyond the Curve? Yeah.
So there's just so many moments in that documentary where they are proving again and again through their own experiments
that they're objectively wrong,
that they are wrong, that the Earth is round. Like my favorite moment in probably documentary like history is when they do this thing where they get these foam panels and they put them like a mile and a half, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, the Earth's flat. So when I hold this super powerful flashlight, you're going to be able to see it on this foam wall that's all the way over here. And they go, can't see it. And he goes, all right, move the flashlight up. And they go, boom, there it is. And they go, buh. And they won't just say, oh, we're wrong. We're wrong. Like that shit drives me absolutely crazy. Where people won't just say, "Oh, I was wrong about that." Like it's okay to be wrong. Just say, "Yeah, I got the evidence." And then you also see the people that are just straight up grifters. They're like the guy that was making those
the models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this dude's not a flat earther. This dude is an opportunistic guy that says I can make these things that look actually. That was
cool
like
as fuck.
They were the coolest part of the whole thing. Like those like domes with the like the coffee table domes.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
they look great. So I
cool
get
piece
it.
of kitsch art, you know.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, no, and there's like those ones where I can sit there and laugh at it, just like laugh at your stupidity.
Yeah.
Because like I there's a guy I've been watching on YouTube for years called his name's Dave Farina, but it's Professor Dave Explains is the name.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the takedowns he's done of Terrence Howard and Eric Weinstein.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite
Terrence
one,
Howard is his made up math.
yeah, 1 + 1 is 3. Oh, dude, don't get me started.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started. Him,
I
Billy.
just saw the Terrence Howard clip where he's like, I don't know if Game of Thrones is a good thing because it got everybody into incest porn. And everybody's like, no, it didn't. And he's like, yeah. And everybody like, well, they're like, well, we need to see this incest porn. And I'm like, I don't think that's.
No.
Yeah.
But when I saw it was like, I think Dipshit had him on his podcast, and Terrence Howard. And then he had Terrence Howard and that Billy Carson dude, who is my favorite grifter. I don't know if you know who that guy.
I don't think so.
Forbidden Knowledge. If you saw him,
Okay, I know. Yeah.
And then those two started a podcast together that lasted like 3 episodes, and it's just like that's the kind of shit where I'm like, I can't even laugh. I'm mad because you're so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Do you think the reason that these conspiracy theories are still going is to maintain the people that are making a buck off of it?
Absolutely. I think the main like
Look at how long QAnon went on.
right. And then you basically find out that Jeffrey Epstein was Q.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
like-
the whole thing was a fucking psyop. It's insane.
Yeah.
Well, it's not insane. It's fucking. It is
no,
what
it's
it is.
a very planned.
And they had I don't know if you watched Q Into the Storm.
Yeah, I watched that,
And the Watkins were the fall guys.
Yep,
like
yep.
that's exactly. It was Flynn, them,
Yeah, yep.
Trump. Like it was all Steve Bannon.
Yep.
It was everybody they said it was.
right. And then you say and now there's all these. I watched Into the Manosphere, and
Is that good? Is it worth a watch?
I think it's worth a watch.
Okay.
I mean, if you're already on the like side, like, oh, these guys are all pretty much grifters, and
Yeah.
and like their audience is all like 15-year-old and 13-year-old boys. Like that's like so weird to me that, and I guess you're making so much money off of it. That you're like, these are the people that will buy into the dumb pranks and the dumb ideology that I have, but I get to make tons of money, so hey, I'll poison some brains.
It's wild because if any rational person, a first look at the Manosphere people will be like, what the fuck is this? Why is anybody but then you learn that it's kids.
Yeah.
And it
makes it even
things.
grosser. Yeah.
Yeah, it's real gross.
Yeah.
I don't want my nephew thinking that about women. I don't want my nephew taking testosterone and breaking his face when he's 15.
Right. Yeah. Well, and that's, and then they lean into conspiracies too, because it's a good way to sell you a lot of like pseudoscience supplements.
Right.
It's a good
Alpha Brain.
Yeah, all that stuff. And so the way that conspiracy theories have been weaponized, whereas like, you remember the Mel Gibson movie
Conspiracy Theory?
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Right. And that was like, conspiracy theories used to be, in a way, respectable.
Thing is he wasn't really playing a character in that movie.
Right. Was it called Conspiracy Theory? Or
Yeah,
was it,
the one with him and
was it Julia Roberts?
yeah.
Yeah.
I just watched it a few months ago.
Okay, yeah.
I really like that movie. It's just a fun conspiracy movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We're looking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just yeah. So like you had that movie and like, but like conspiracy theorists were like, it was
altruistic in a way,
right? And there was like, and it wasn't, and if they got new information that was true, they would actually. They weren't just trying to be like, well, I'm just saying the most outlandish thing. I'm and that's where the internet comes into it, where you're using debate and trolling and all these different things to
bots
to prop yourself up in the algorithm.
Yep.
Because it's going to cause this argumentative discourse and put you at like a higher level. And you see it too with like Jim Tooze is staying with me this week while he's in town, and he's talking about how he's got his Facebook like private page and then like his comedy page.
Right.
And he's focusing more on his comedy page now, and he's like, it's so much right wing stuff that's targeting me, and it's not because they think I'm going to enjoy it, it's because they want me to get in the comments and fight with them.
Yeah.
Like that's what
the algorithm has been pushing since 2016.
Yeah.
When they figured out that that's what gets people engaged.
Yeah. Yep.
The only time that I'll like clap back at somebody is when I know they're not a bot, like 'cause they type a certain way, and like that's the only time I'll clap back, and like it's I don't do it very often anymore because I'm not gonna waste my time arguing with people on the fucking internet. But like it is nice to just like dunk on somebody and be like, defeat what I just said.
Right. Yeah. I'll do it sometimes just to keep the algorithm going. Like if I get a video that's getting like a pop on it, especially like on the channels where I'm monetized, I'm like, here's a little shark food, like, a little chum here. We gotta make an extra.
This could use a little extra spice.
Let's pay my phone bill.
Did you, when you worked for Clear Channel, did they tell you to do that?
No.
Okay.
They didn't. When people would be
I
like,
can't imagine they would encourage that.
Here's what they said. Here, like they just didn't want us to. Like the only time they ever said don't talk about this was when cyclists were getting like in the news, because they like one of my program directors had so many cyclists like email and be like, hey, you guys aren't giving us a fair shake. This is actually better for like, and that's the only time I can ever think of where they're like, don't poke the bee's nest with cyclists and with pitbull people. And so whenever someone was like, oh, they're telling you to say this, they're telling you to hate on Trump, I'm like, no, they don't tell us anything. And that was only that one program director, and it wasn't like he was saying you can't do this. He's like, for my mental health,
right?
So I don't have to deal with these stupid fucking emails. Can you just not do? And I was like, I don't have anything to say about it anyway, so it wasn't a big deal.
Right,
like,
perfect. And what a weird bugaboo. Like I don't want to deal with this.
So now that you're not with iHeart anymore, cyclists are fucked up people.
Yeah,
are we? Can I stop? Are we talking about like bicycle people, or what are we talking about here?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if we were talking about like motorcyclists. Are you talking about people?
No one's called a motorcycle. Those are bikers.
Okay,
bikers are different.
I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page.
Yeah. But cyclists. I lived out in the Bay Area for a little bit, and they would have vigils every year for all the bike messengers that died in traffic accidents. But if you drive around San Francisco and look at the way that they disobey traffic laws, it's like, yes, you're going to die if you run red lights.
If you look at the way the city's set up, you're going to die.
Yeah, especially San Francisco.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like the things that you'd call them out, be like, They would be like, oh, don't you know the rules of the road? I'm like, don't you?
Yeah.
I never see you guys use your hand
wacky
signals.
Wave arm
like, I gotta go left. I gotta stop. Like I never actually see you do that.
Bicyclists are just Italians.
Yeah, I don't see it. They're supposed to be.
Talk with your hands.
You talk with your hands. Yeah, communicate with us. And then when you got to get to the all the stuff you got to do. Like you have to stop at stop signs. You have to stop at red lights.
You have to obey the traffic laws.
Yeah, you are like that's why you can get a DUI on a bike.
Yeah,
because you are you're in traffic.
You're operating a vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost wish that they would just be banished to the sidewalks. But then I remember hearing so many on your left from.
All right, well, here's my fucking thing that you just brought up. Yeah, I'd like to see bicyclists on the sidewalk since everybody else seems to just walk in the street anymore and not fucking use sidewalks. I am so tired of that shit.
I only see that when there's sidewalks aren't shoveled.
Yeah.
But I see a little bit of it where people will jog on the street rather than on sidewalks because especially over where I live, the sidewalks are a little crummy.
Yeah.
So they want the consistency of the road, but it's also on streets that are not super busy, so it doesn't bother me in any way.
Right, no, like that.
But yeah, there's a contingency of people that do just be walking in the street.
Yeah, and it's just dude, I get it. Fucking get boots and walk through the 2 inches of snow or whatever, because it's not that much snow stuck to the sidewalks this year.
No, there was spaces where you had to walk in the street or else you were trudging through, and it wasn't even like you could trudge through it because we had that deep freeze. We had all that snow, and then we had that deep freeze, and then it was just ice, and you couldn't even really get through it. So in those rare occasions, it should be more on the people of the city.
I'm not saying I shouldn't say there's not exceptions.
Honestly, what it should be is we should have a mom dump me moment where they're like, get out there $30 an hour, go shovel the walks, make sure everybody can walk around.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
Yeah,
but
watching Marty and fucking Shear shovel the sidewalks, watch two white men have a heart attack the first day.
That's a lot of butt crack.
Yeah,
I don't care how long those coats are.
Yeah, no, that's if I got a job shoveling the snow. One, that's how you know I really want to die.
Yeah,
and two, I would be wearing a trench coat.
That's my plan for making sure. When I'm ready to check out, I'm just gonna start. You'll know because you'll see me shoveling a lot of sidewalks, and that way my life insurance still pays out to my kids.
There you go. There you go. Absolutely, that's a smart idea, man.
Oh, I don't have life insurance. I just have my kid in the will.
Oh, he will have life insurance. No. $1 million policy on this one.
Oh, you're betting on me? So
no,
you're gonna
I'm not anytime soon. But when I see signs.
It
better not require a health exam or you're fucked.
Well, you just have to pay a little more. You just got to pay a little more because my health insurance, or not health insurance, but my life insurance is, they made me do the health exam. And they're like, well, you're pretty healthy, but you got to pay an extra $7 a month. I was like, I'll do that.
Yeah.
You want to know?
They're like, or you can lose 50 pounds. They're like $7 it is.
You want to know a conspiracy I believe in?
What's that?
You got let go of Clear Channel just so your fucking album could hit #1 on Amazon.
No, because that's
or was it top 5?
It would have done that anyway. The album stuff, it was at #1, but
that's fucking awesome, man. I was so proud of you.
Thank you, but I'll give you the lowdown. Yeah, nobody buys albums, so if you sell 40 albums, you're
still
we right now if we went on Amazon and bought one of my albums. Just selling 3 right now would put me in the top 50.
Really?
Yeah. No, because nobody's buying it.
Yeah, I was just still wow, that's fucking cool. Just the fact that people showed out for you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And again, it wasn't even that many. So I was excited about it. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm gonna be all right. But no, and it's one of those things too where. I did fine though. I mean, I was.
You bounced back real quick, dude.
I mean, I'm making.
Not that you had a choice.
I want to, But also, here's my conspiracy theory of why I got fired or laid off or whatever talk you want to use for it. Why I don't work for iHeart anymore.
iHeart, that's what it is.
So, in 2024, leading up to the election, there was a law they were trying to get passed, and so they were using all this money for what are they? I can never remember what it's called. Where they're paying the congressmen and the senators.
Lobbying?
Lobbying, yeah. So they're lobbying on both sides to make sure that AM radio stayed. Like there was a law on the books that said AM radio has to be put in all the new cars being built.
Okay.
And so they put a ton of money into that. Not just Clear Channel, but whatever the other ones are, Odyssey, all that stuff. They put a ton of money into that. And as soon as they realized, oh, we're good, we're going to be all right, we're going to get this passed, they realized they spent $100 million on lobbying, and they had to make huge cuts. And I was part of the I was part of that.
Mm-hmm. Damn, dude.
Because it's not like they didn't hire. Like the guy that's on there now, his name's Rob, and he's a cool dude. He's the program director, but he also is because the way the contracts are built, if you are a program director or you wear you can even the contract that I had, I could have done other shows and had other responsibilities, but it wouldn't have increased my pay because it was built in that you can have up to
it would have just been more
3 or 5
it's
like you can have up to 3 or 5 shows on any given cluster.
So is it just Alan and that dude now? Or?
It's Alan, that dude, and then they have a phone screener that they pay minimum wage. So that's
Did they let what's his name go?
Pound Cake left of his own volition
because
he was working for Ohio minimum wage there and couldn't afford it. So
honestly, the moment I found when I saw because I didn't get to listen all the time, but I would text you when I was at my jobs and shit and be like, oh hey, they got it on. But the moment that you were, I was like, then there's no fucking, and it's nothing against Alan, nothing against Alan, but it's just fuck it, I'm not. Because Mary got let go too.
Yeah, she got let go the same time. But she was getting ready to leave anyway. So she had announced that she was going to leave the show at the end of the year, and then they pulled the rug out from under her. I was going to ride it out as long as I could.
Why the fuck
that
not?
Job. That was a fun show. It was.
You've been back on though, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been back on, and I'm good with Alan. I'm good with Rob. I'm good with everybody locally.
It's the corporation.
It's the corporate, and again, it wasn't because they didn't think I was good at my job.
Yeah,
right. It's because they
spent too much fucking money.
They're like, we spent too much. We fucked up. We spent too much money. we gotta make cuts. But also, that's the radio legacy media in general is just dying. So they have to make these cuts because they didn't think the internet was gonna catch on, and so they're like, wow, why would we adjust for this? And so they're playing catch up where companies like Spotify and YouTube and Netflix all were innovating rather than just trying to hang on to what was already there,
and all owned by the same 10 fucking companies.
Right.
That's what I was.
That's what I was kind of like. I was like, man, it would be interesting. I don't want to say cool, but I wanted to say it would have been interesting if iHeart had gotten, because there had been talks about Amazon possibly buying them, or Apple or something and I was kind of waiting. I was like, I think that would be the thing that will either completely destroy it, or they'll be like, oh, we see the value in these personalities and we should be doing more with them.
Yeah,
because that was the interesting thing that I noticed about iHeart or just radio in general is they have all these people that are very talented. There's a lot of great, but they're so focused on just trying to get you an endorsement for a car dealership or a weight loss pill or whatever.
That's exactly what I was. It's become commercial music. Yeah. For you to listen to commercials,
right? Well,
to go back to commercial,
which
music.
I get because that's how they make their money,
right?
But the innovation was lacking when even just trying to get them to do a video live stream and put it on YouTube and stuff like that. They're like, what's the value in that? I'm like,
Rover did it for fucking billion years.
Yeah, and it's like and Rover did it in a really smart way where he monetized it. Rover's
that
always
was
been
kind of video podcasting before it was a thing.
Again, and that's why I when people talk shit about Rover, I'm like,
no, he's a smart man. I don't care what anybody says.
He's a very smart guy. He's a very he's very knowledgeable on how to. He does great interviews. I've never.
He's been doing this for 35 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
since he was been at a high level for a long time.
Yeah. So I have mad respect.
He got the job, his first job in Cleveland when he was in his mid 20s.
Yeah,
early 20s even. He was young.
Yeah,
because that was around the time that I started doing stand up. When he got on. I remember hearing one of his early shows, and Ryan Dalton
92.3.
Yeah, 92.3. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
before I think it was Extreme before it was even K-Rock.
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
It was Extreme, and then went to K-Rock, and then it flipped to the Fan.
Remember
after-
Jammin' 92.3?
Oh yeah, they sell Jammin' 92.3 T-shirts at Cleveland Clothing Company.
That's cool. I haven't seen that one. I was just
Yeah.
at the one at Summit Mall not long ago,
Yeah.
and they had a
Yeah.
Goulardi one, which was really
That's pretty
cool.
cool,
But
yeah.
like, I'll have to go check the
Yeah.
one up here because I do want a cool.
I
Cleveland
haven't.
shirt.
I don't know if they still have it, but they did for sure.
They're
So you
always
could
doing
probably,
any
yeah.
kind of design. I'll be like, oh, that's the one.
Yeah.
But I definitely want a Buzzard shirt for sure.
Yeah.
But it is the thing about radio that I didn't realize until like recently is there are so many people that are just listening because of the people on it.
Yes. Yeah.
And even if they're music DJs.
Yeah.
It's
There's a loyal fan base. It's not what it used to be, but it is. I mean, there are people. I mean, like what everybody always says to me is like, "Oh, I'm sorry you lost your job. I don't listen anymore. I listen for you." Like, and you hear a lot of that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure what you experienced with
CSB.
WCSB now XCSB.
Is like that's also like there's a romance that people have for radio
For classic radio. Yeah.
that is going away, and that's in my opinion something that they should have been capitalizing on versus trying to make instead of trying to make every radio station into an iPod on shuffle. I think what they should have leaned into is the personalities that keep people, because you gotta go, even if it's like a Mark Nolan, you go, I like hearing Mark in the morning.
Yeah.
I like his little quips and his steadiness and like his professionalism is just, it's wonderful.
The one guy I will always point to is Mike Trevisano.
Yeah.
He did fucking unlistenable 10-minute segments.
Yeah.
For I hate the 10-minute segment.
Yeah.
There's no time
Yeah.
for any of that, and people loved him.
Yep.
Even if they didn't agree with him.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, fucking, what was his name? Oh my God, the sports dude. He had a show in Cleveland for a while. He's a Chicago guy. Vince Rome.
Oh,
Is that his name?
Jim Rome?
Jim Rome.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, dude, I feel like he revolutionized sports radio, like, to what it is now, which is not necessarily a good thing all the way around.
right. Well, yeah,
But he was the first real divisive guy.
yeah, he took that, and coming from a city like Chicago where they had some of the pioneers in that golden era, or I guess it'd probably be more like a silver age of radio,
Broadcasting.
Yeah, of like you got like was it Steve Dahl and the crazy stunt stuff that he would do, and then you had Mancow, and then him kind of taking their brashness in
Cornering a
infusing
market
it
with it.
into
Yeah.
sports talk
Yeah.
was completely different than just like, hey, we're all friends here, we want everybody to do their best kind
Right,
of like
yeah.
which it's just something that evolved through like Stern and all the
Yeah.
different stuff through the 80s and 90s. And then you look at the evolution of Howard Stern, even, and like him going from these brash, like, there was like I think it was on Hulu, but it was like stuff. It was a lot about Stern and Opie and Anthony and all like the crazy shock jock stuff that they were doing in the 80s or the 90s and early 2000s. And Stern was just despicable in some of the stuff that he talked about, and I think he's apologized for a lot of it
he has.
now.
Yeah, he's rolled a lot of that back.
But it was like talking about
He takes credit for it too. He goes, "I didn't expect it, like, for people to take what I was doing and make it what it is now."
Yeah. And
But they sure did.
They
Oh
sure
yeah,
did.
they did.
It's the amount of people that are directly influenced by Stern, but it's that era of Stern.
Yeah.
and that's all they want is that like grimy, like hateful.
Yeah.
and just,
Every
it's-
woman
and it-
must be asked if they do anal. Every black person is the N-word.
I'll liken it to wrestling in a way. Whereas like ECW, Paul Heyman ECW, I'm a disciple.
Yeah.
It would not work today.
No.
It wouldn't. What he did would not work today, and people keep trying. AEW or the Indies or some of WWE. It's just you need to switch. You need to try something different.
Well, yeah, you need like it had its time. It's
Yeah.
it's the same way like the glam rock stuff. Like you can bring parts of it back,
Sure,
but it's got to evolve in a way. The same way like comedies like Revenge of the Nerds worked for that time because it was such a simplistic notion that jocks are mean and nerds are punchable and overlooked, and then you go back and watch this video, you're like, oh, there's another aspect of this because they're just women are just objects to both sides.
Oh,
like
and you're also forgetting about the one other thing. If you fast forward 40 fucking years, the jocks are still dumb motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That's never changed. The nerds are the bad guys.
Yeah,
now,
but the nerds are bad guys. Yeah,
that's the
well,
scary
and
thing.
even if you watch that movie, the nerds are kind of bad
Yeah,
guys still in that movie. Like Revenge of the Nerds,
They are getting vengeance.
There's some rape. Like, it's not good.
Yeah, that's a part of it, and then she likes it, and then I'm like, well, I'm out.
Yeah, well, and that's also like the whole thing too, where people are like, oh, they couldn't even do this anymore. Like, but why would you want to?
Right.
Like, there's a lot of stuff where
Right.
they go, oh, they can't make movies like this
Well,
anymore.
like
And
Superbad is one.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
But why the fuck would you want to?
Yeah.
I'm not getting girls drunk and like
Yeah.
that whole premise. I
Yeah.
get your problem with it, but why would you want to remake something that was so good for the time?
Yeah, it's a time capsule for what it was, and even take a movie like that's not looked on as something that is despicable or didn't age well, but like I think of a movie like well, not High Fidelity, the Record Store movie.
That's High Fidelity.
Well, it's the one before that.
Oh, Empire Records.
Empire Records. Yeah.
Empire Records.
So you think of a movie like Empire Records, and like it's a fantastic movie,
Wonderful,
and it's a nice time capsule of what life was kind of like. Like it's not as, obviously it's a movie.
it's a fictionalized version of what life was like back then. Yeah,
but it's a lot of fun, and so like trying to recreate that in any way, if they wanted to, would be like impossible. So you just leave it as is and be like, okay, that's that. Let's make a time capsule of what it's like to be alive, a teenager now. Like,
right.
Like do
All right,
that.
So I was just thinking about this last night because You Spin Me Right Round came on the radio. So I was first thing it was Wedding Singer.
Wedding Singer, yeah.
And I was like, okay, think about this. 2028.
Mm-hmm.
That movie will be 30 years old.
Yeah.
I believe it takes place in 85.
85, yeah.
So
And what year did it come out? It came out in 2000.
98.
98. So it wasn't even that long.
So, but what I'm thinking is, dude, in 2028, what the fuck movie are they going to make about 2015? There's nothing special anymore. Nothing about like the last 2 decades has been like.
I disagree. I think there's a lot of very like you think of things like what if you were to make a movie about like 2006 right now.
Sure.
I'm just going 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And you go
Our time.
Yeah, our time. And you go, you're not on MySpace?
Yeah.
Like
Fucking
you're not on
loser.
You can customize everything.
Who's in your top 8?
Yeah, I can customize everything. You can do these things called bulletins.
Well, dude, bulletins. I miss bulletins
Yeah.
still to this day.
all that stuff. Like, so there is. So you take
I
that.
get what-
Let's go 10 years. You got 10 years ago. You go. Okay.
Trump's about to be
we
president.
got Trump about to be president. But like other things about 10 years ago. So you get like, oh, you can do video on Instagram now. Oh, you can because you remember it's just pictures
Yeah.
for a while. Then you got okay. So we're doing video on Instagram. Oh, you can like make a TV show and just put it on YouTube.
Okay,
Like,
so there's a movie to
like-
be made.
There are more like is just because things move so fast and
Right.
it becomes so normalized, but like 2016 be like Joe Rogan just puts his podcast on YouTube and you can see the people talking. Like as much as I'm not like a Rogan guy,
Right.
There was innovation happening.
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
That was like
I'll give credit where credit's due. At a time,
I mean,
he
even
would-
like you said, like Rover, like putting that stuff out there, and like it moves fast, but there is absolutely like eras of this stuff that is, I mean, just like the meme culture and how it went from like these kind of like stock image graphics and like photos, and now every
GIFs
single thing that happens is a meme almost immediately.
Yeah.
Like, and
I guess like the difference more. I should have pinpointed it more. Like that I was talking about with Wedding Singer. Is just like the difference in. I mean, even the 80s and 90s, the color palettes were similar.
Yeah.
It got more earthy and darky in like the 90s. But like just even that 13-year difference, you know what I mean?
Everything just got gray.
Whereas like if they made one now, it would just be like this monochrome communist McDonald's fucking.
Yeah. All the grayification of everything.
I disagree.
Communist.
Because the last few years of movies, everything is too bright.
Do you know why? I actually just watched a video on that. It's because of the LED lighting. The last movie that came out that was shot with those gas lights in LA was Drive.
Yeah. I saw that.
Wasn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And now that's why everything looks so surgical.
But that's also that wasn't even the movie lights. That was the actual lights in the city.
Yeah, that they before.
Yeah, so they actually had.
And so they had to. What was it? They had to change. Hollywood had to change from the lights they were using because it was cheaper, but LED to match what the world looks like now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like you never think about that, and then I saw that reel, and I was like, wow, that was cool.
Well, that's why when you see like old, what Tarantino does to try and recreate the late 60s in a movie
70s and shit,
like versus what the world looked like everything looks brighter and cleaner, but if you go back and watch any of those movies, like the world was dirty as fuck in the 60s and 70s.
You know what movie I would recommend? Well, I mean, I know you've seen it, but American Gangster. Go watch that, and it feels like that New York, New Jersey grit, like true shit. I guess is the best way I could put it.
Because even like I just think I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh yeah,
it's such a fun movie. And he makes LA look so fun, and there are like photos that he's referencing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but everything's a lot dirtier in like the real life photos, and even you like go back and watch Taxi Driver, and
I just rewatched it recently. It's so
grimy,
dude. That scene with Scorsese in the back.
Yeah.
That's one of the scummiest fucking scenes. And it's like you could tell he's coked out of his fucking mind.
Yep.
And it's a great scene, but it's just like I don't know. I view things through a different prism now where it's like, wow, movies back then they really fucking went for it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And so there's some aspect of that we I don't know, what are we even talking about this? I don't know.
There's a conspiracy that I have heard.
Okay, let's go.
Where they're trying to figure out how to manipulate people's brains directly through flashing lights through the television, and that is the reason that they needed to switch to LED lights because they're easier to program.
That all right.
Project Bluebeam.
Let's go.
Project Bluebeam.
I've heard that because something similar to that where it's like they're always taking little pictures of your face on your phone, and so
every 12 seconds.
And when you're sitting in the green room at Hilarities, they have the it's like an infrared like night vision shot.
Yeah.
So you'll just see people's phones flashing constantly.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So you see them like.
I want.
And they're not on their phones. They're
I want to go back to
there.
burners, man.
Yeah. No, there's something to be said for it.
Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, that's also something like you did a movie that took place 13 years ago, and you had that person buying their first iPhone or their first smartphone and like giving up the burner and like what that meant for them.
Right? Like that's the beginning of dystopia.
Yeah.
the Terminator reboot.
Right. It's just just hitting that agree.
I can actually remember the first cell phone I ever got.
Me too.
And it was like that was mine. It was not the family phone.
Right.
Yeah.
No, agreed.
I use it to book you.
Yeah.
But
dude, I'm so good at T9 texting.
Oh, dude,
that was honestly, I think the safest way to text and drive was T9 texting.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you remember in Depart when he's like T9 texted in his pocket?
Yep.
I'm like, I could do that.
Yeah,
like that's not
easy.
that. Like I remember my one friend's like, how does he know what he's saying? I'm like,
are you kidding?
Like, dude, it's muscle memory.
Yeah, that's why I was so hesitant to switch to touchscreen.
Yeah,
because part of that is feeling.
Yeah, the tactile.
Yeah,
that's nice. I remember my first cell phone. Like I got I was like, oh, who was it? It was like Singular.
Mine was
Sprint. It was Sprint.
Mine
It
was
Sprint.
Revel. A
Mine was-
Kyocera.
Mine was Sprint, and it was just like a silver and black flip phone, and I had it, and I just started like traveling doing comedy, and I forgot, like I turned it off before a show, and I forgot to turn it on for like 2 days, and I got to that's how not attached to it I was.
Yeah,
I was just
yeah.
like, oh yeah,
I have a phone.
and then I had 2 weeks booked on the road. I was in Denver, and then I was in Colorado Springs back to back. And when I got to Denver, I must have turned my phone off one night at shows, and then I forgot to turn it back on, and then went down to Colorado Springs, and I went to check in at the comedy club and get the keys for the condo.
Canceled.
And no. The owner goes, hey, call your mom. And
Oh.
and I'm like, what? He's like, she's trying to call you, and your phone keeps going, and so she thinks you're dead. And so she called us, and she was just worried. And I was like, oh, okay.
Dude, that reminds me of
Like,
that.
it was cute.
That reminds me of that scene from Almost Famous when they show up in New York.
Yeah.
And it's Cam from Modern Family.
Yeah.
He's the concierge, and he's like, your mom called. She really freaked me out. But sure, what you were talking about your first phone. I'm sorry, we cut you off.
Well, I would go more into it, but we're out of time. So, Bill,
Stay tuned next time.
Yeah, for next time.
Bill, where can we find you on the internet?
At Bill Squire on pretty much all social media. I am on YouTube. I'm 5,000 away from 100,000. I want that plaque, so subscribe to my YouTube channel.
I'll push it for you.
Yeah.
I'll push it for you.
Yeah, so Jordan, I don't think we're going to find anybody who hates people who think conspiracy theorists are justified now as much as Bill Squire.
No, there is another.
And scene.
That was fun, man.
I won't apologize again. I'm a repeat offender. You can see right through my skin. I don't care about making mistakes. I keep setting up and falling on my face. Feed me numbing agents. Drag me to the ring. Another discharge vapor. Diagnosis drunkenness. I keep my bruise and my brain and down to the punches. And I was meant today.
This has been a Lousy Weather Media Network production. Find new episodes and archives at lousyweathermedia.com.